Alright guys, so here we are in another episode of Minecraft. Got a bunch of redstone stuff here, which basically means that today is Wired Wednesday, alright? Today is just going to be a lot of basic stuff, just basically how to power things, all the logic gates for people who understand Boolean logic, monostable circuits. I explain how repeaters work a little bit, and I'll actually have another thing that I'm going to wire up as we're talking. But basically, redstone is how you convert like a form of electricity in Minecraft. So basically, if I break this off, if I put it on, it always starts off in the off state, which most of these should be in. Then I can turn it on and it'll power it, and I can send power into things like redstone lamps for light. I can send it into like an iron door here if I put the iron door right there, and then okay, let's put the iron door right there. It'll open the door and close the door. And you can do that with regular doors too. I just prefer doing it with iron doors. You can make dispensers shoot out blocks. You can make no blocks make noise. You activate TNT with it, which is new as of I think it was 1.7 where they added in where redstone activates TNT. It used to be that to activate TNT you just punched it, but now it just breaks it. So makes it a little bit easier to control that type thing. Let's see here, get back my buttons. But yeah, for the most part it's really simple. There are some more complicated things that people do with it. But yeah, let's just jump right into Boolean logic. Right here we have a NOT gate, so basically because here this is off, so this is the off position, the redstone torch will be on, meaning this will be on, and then when I turn this on, redstone torch goes off, turning off the lamp. And I can do that infinitely. And then right here we have an AND gate, which means when input A and when input B are on, we'll have an output. And basically this is three NOT gates put together. So we turn this one off, turns off this torch, but because this torch is still on, that's on, which means that this torch is off. Then we turn that on, and we have that. So then when I flip this one, it turns off. Right here we have a NAND gate, which is just the letter N before and that just is it's inverted basically. Takes one less redstone torch. And basically it's always on unless these are both on. Next we have an OR gate, so basically if this one's on, it's on. If they're both on, it's on. Or if that one's on, it's on. The only time it's off is if they're both off. Like I said, a lot of this is really simple. We have a NOR gate, which is self-explanatory, so when they're both off, nothing happens. One off, nothing happens. Or one on, nothing happens. Both on, it turns off. Oh no, wait, this is a NAND gate, isn't it? Yes, it is. Oh, right. NOR gate would be, let's see here. So, see, this is me kind of like building on the fly here. We do that. And we do that. Okay. So when these are both off, that'll be on. And then when we turn either one on, it turns off, or if they're both on, it's off. So, and right here we have an XOR gate, and basically what that does is if they're both on or both off, the input will be off, but if we turn on one, see the input turns on, and then if I turn on the other, the input turns off, and then when I flip this one off, input goes back on. Now, a lot of these I really don't use. I will use some for like doors, things like that. But now this is one that I use on a regular basis. This here is a this isn't the most compact, but this is a simplistic version of a T flip-flop. Another way that people build them is they go, let's see here, so block, 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 block. And I'm using emerald blocks because they just really, they stand out against the terrain. So we run redstone up here like this. Put a torch on each side, and this is a T flip-flop, which is just a toggle flop, or a toggle flip-flop. So when I push this, it'll flip over to that one, so now we have power. And then when we push this again, it'll flip back, and we have no power. And now some people will actually use these like this, and they'll go redstone torch there. Then we do repeater. We'll do a repeater there. Block. Repeater, repeater. Light. And so that'll give you like an on and an off switch. So if I have something that needs something to turn it on and then it needs a special circuit to turn it off, you can use this type of a T flip-flop because it'll flip the power input between both of them. But this is a more compact version. It takes advantage of monostable circuits, which I'll go over in a second. So as you can see, it works really fast, but basically this input comes into this block. Actually, here, let's see if I can do it this way. Should be able to. Okay. Comes into that block, which powers the piston, and so now that the piston is up, that power will keep powering that. But because it powered this block here, it got one pulse through here, which pulses into the sticky piston. And sticky pistons, when one pulse is sent into them, they push the block away and they don't pull it back. And that'll push the block out there. And then you do that again and it'll pull the block back. And so here's just basically showing the difference between a normal button press and a monostable button. As you can see, that one turns on and off much faster, and that's the point behind a monostable circuit, is that it's a quick pulse and then it's gone. Now right here we have a BUD switch, which stands for Block Update Detector Switch, and basically the way that works, let's see here, we'll put a piston here, or a block there. So now if I turn on the power, nothing happens. Turn off the power, nothing happens. But when the power is on, if I place a block here, it'll update the piston so it'll push out. Now when I turn it off, it'll turn back off. And that'll work for any type of a block. So if I place if anything gets near that block, that piston, it'll update. There is a way to do it with redstone lamps. I just don't know how to do it yet. Right here, I'm showing off the delay of repeaters. Now these are 4 repeaters all set to 4 ticks of delay. 1 tick in Minecraft is equal to 1 crap, what is it? 1/10 of a second in real life. So this right here has 1 tick of delay. This here has 2 ticks of delay. There's 1, 2. This here, that there has 3 ticks, that has 1 tick of delay. So those ones really aren't noticeable. But now this one here has 12 ticks of delay, or 16 ticks of delay. So that's 1.5 seconds. So I push this button. As you see, that one turns on automatically, and then there's a delay, and then that one turns on. And this here is just to show that whether you use one repeater on 4 ticks of delay or 4 repeaters, because you can change it just by right-clicking on it, or you use 4 repeaters on 1 tick of delay, it takes the same amount of time and it turns on and off in the same speed. Now right here, this is a very simple pulse extender, and basically what that does, if I push this on, that'll stay on for 9 ticks. And so what this does is this will actually extend it to, I'm pretty sure I have it set to just double it. So they both turn on right away, and then that one stays on longer than this one. And then right here I have another form of a pulse limiter, so instead of using a sticky piston, this one uses 2 repeaters, one on 1 tick of delay and one on 4 ticks. And then we have a repeater going into a block with a torch. And then I just have a T flip-flop, or a piston with a block and a torch, so that we can see the 1 tick come out. Because some people, if you watch the torch real closely, you can see it flash on and off real quick. Wow, I can't believe I'm actually almost done. Right here we have a simple memory cell. So this torch comes into this redstone, which powers this block, which turns off this torch, which comes into 2 more lines, which go into this block and there. And so basically I push this button, and now because I turned off this torch, it turns off this power, which turns off the power to this block, which means that this torch turns back on, powering this redstone dust here, which powers this block, which holds this torch off, and it'll hold that on. And then you hit another button here, and it resets it. Right here, I have a 1-1 clock. So if I push this, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's an even amount of delay between one and the other. There are ways to set up other types of clocks, like this one here. Let's say I'm taking the input directly out of this. Directly out of that block. Now this will be a 1-3 clock. So 1, and then it goes around and comes on. So it takes 3 times as long for it to come around as it stays powered for. Very simple stuff. And I just have these all set to, I could probably actually just set them all to 2 ticks of delay. Alright, let's see how that does. Yeah, see, that runs a little bit faster. If I turn them all down to 1, it will actually break the entire circuit. See? And so that'll basically give you like a 1 on, 1 off type deal. You know, it gives you 2 outputs and then it's off, as of right now. So we've got 1, 2, off. But yeah, those are basically the these are the basics of Redstone. That's just how to power things. There's nothing super complicated. Now something you can do, taking advantage of, let's see here, what do I not need? Don't need torches for that. So now if I go like this and I drop water there, and then, oops, forgot TNT. We'll get rid of that. So Fire the TNT. It'll fall into the water. And I can stand here. Nothing happens. It doesn't destroy any of the ground around it because water neutralizes TNT blasts. And so something you can do to take advantage of that, let's see here, so we go, let's aim it this way, so now that should, oops. Okay, so that comes directly to there. Then we need a half slab. Don't need pistons for this part. So you can make a TNT launcher, which is a rather fun device. And so we'll set this to about that much delay. And if we set this to more delay, forgot how fast TNT burns in this game. So we can actually end up launching that pretty far. And if I remove this, it should launch it a bit further, I think. I've never really played around with TNT launchers all that much because I tend to end up, yeah, see, doing that. Not really sure what happened there. Oh well. Got a hole in the world now. That's cool. Oh, right. Something I did want to show off though is if we go like this and we set a long line, and we'll put a button here, and then we go put a repeater there. Because that's all I have right now for input and output. Repeaters will extend Redstone because Redstone can only go so far. It can only travel 15 blocks. So from here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So that TNT should not go off. Let's actually use a lever. See, it cuts off right there. We've got the fuzz and then no fuzz. And yet this one continues on, and this will continue on for another 15 blocks unless you put down another repeater. Now, as of 1.5, they've been talking about putting in a couple new redstone blocks, like a capacitor block, things like that, to kind of sort of add to. I don't know why I didn't think about doing it like this before. Yeah, they're going to add in a bunch of new types of blocks that have to do with redstone in order to really extend what you can do with redstone. I'm just going to show one more quick redstone device. And now this is a human cannon, or whatever you can fit in a 1x1 space cannon. And basically you place a button there, surround the rest of this with redstone. Now, I don't think that these 3 are necessary, but I put them there anyway, just in case, you never know. And then basically you do one of these, jump in the middle. Make sure you're not touching any of the TNT, because obviously since I'm in creative mode, I don't take damage, so I'll show you in survival mode. I shouldn't die. Let's hope. Woo! Thud. So yeah, and I've seen people like build these like 7 or 8 layers tall. And then they'll really launch you. Like I've seen, I watched Doc M. He was on a server where they built one that had to have been from the bottom of the world up to the sky limit, and it launched him over he was past like 7,000. So right now we're at 9. Let's see how high up this thing launches us. Looks like 32 was our max, so we come up to about here. So as you can see, it does get you up pretty high though, just for being as simple as it is. But yeah guys, I'm gonna call this and end an episode, just because anything past this type of logic I'm gonna have to work out. Oh hey look, we still got this thing going. There are better ways to turn this off, I just don't care. But yeah guys, I hope you know, if you didn't understand how some of these things work, it helped to explain that to you. I hope you enjoyed some of the little things I showed you to do with TNT and how repeaters work and things like that. Yeah guys, I will see you next week with a couple more complicated builds. We'll probably come in with the double piston extender, probably a block switcher. I'll come up with a couple other things to build for you guys too. But yeah, as always guys, I'm Dan, this has been Minecraft, and I will see you next time.